Graham, as someone who has faced and overcome significant personal challenges, what advice do you have for early stage startup founders dealing with the constant uncertainty, stress, and unknown factors in the startup landscape?
It is very, very tough. And, I've experienced with my own startup, and it's, there's
Mhm.
not much money around, and,
No.
there's so many things you're juggling. There's so much uncertainty. And so one of the things that I've learned the hard way is to really focus on the things you can control.
Hmm.
And that includes, making sure you get enough exercise, just whether it's walking outside, listening to a podcast, um, if you swim or ride a bike or whatever, just getting that regular
Yeah,
exercise
yeah.
really, really counts. And there's lots of research that shows that
Mhm.
exercise is very, very good for any mental health issue. In fact, the Black Dog Institute found that it was, just as effective
Yeah,
for moderate depression as antidepressants. It's,
yeah. Even
it's a
in your
really good thing.
survey, rated quite high as well.
And the other part is being able to relax or unwind. And again,
Mm,
that's a challenge when you've got
mm.
so many things you're juggling.
Yes.
But I always find it's best to, work in a pulse way. So I put my phone on a timer for
Hmm.
45 minutes,
Yeah.
but I work on one thing,
Mm.
focused on one
Hmm.
thing. And when that goes off, I then get up, walk around, do something different, get out, maybe go out and
Hmm.
water some plants or call a friend or whatever. So
Yeah.
to have that sort of break, it's really not healthy to work in a continual way. We think we're being productive, but we're not.
Mm.
And another thing to keep in mind is that when we are in the green zone on that moodometer, Harvard Business Review research tells us that we're 31% more productive,
Mm.
37% more influential,
Yeah.
and 300% more creative.
Yeah.
And they're all incredibly important qualities for a startup where
Absolutely.
you've got to evolve quickly, there's not just black and white solutions, you've got to look at other creative ways to
Yeah.
address an issue. So I really talk about managing your mood, not your
Mm.
time.
Mm.
So making time to ensure that you have good people around you. And, one of the things that also is important is catching up with people that you get on with, people that can support you,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and introducing rituals, in the week. We have a mutual friend, Bernie Orenstein, and one of the things I do every Sunday is to catch up with him,
Right.
another mate at
Yeah.
Curl. We go for a walk, have breakfast, and we've been doing it now for probably, I don't know, probably about 10 years. Um, and it's very pleasant. It's a beautiful environment.
Mm.
But over that 10 years, we've all had serious things we've had to discuss, like health issues, financial issues, relationship issues.
Yeah.
And I think the quality you look for in those people that you build those relationships in is that you find it an enjoyable experience. That
Mm.
should be obvious. You do it consistently,
Yeah.
and if possible, once a week, and in person. In person is much better than remotely, and of course that
Absolutely.
was a challenge
Mm.
in COVID. And
Yeah.
then thirdly, that you can be vulnerable with them. Admit that you're not going fantastically, that
Yeah.
you do need assistance, and to share those problems. And it's the old thing: a problem shared is a problem halved.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah,
And often males, it's much harder for them to open up and share what's going on. Particularly more so in the past, but even so now, a lot of us don't really want to open up. So I think that's something that's really important to learn how to do. And then if you've got those friends that you can open up to, that they understand you, I think it's really, really helpful, because we all have our ups and downs, and you're sharing with each other, and you're listening and helping them, and they're helping you. And I have the same sort of thing. So
100%.